So according to Chloe Fineman from Saturday Night Live, Elon Musk made her cry when he hosted the show back in 2022. This is ridiculous, this whole story. This is just another addition to the media's new obsession with Elon Musk. There's as much a Musk derangement syndrome now as there is a Trump derangement syndrome. Every article talking about Trump, how evil he is, has to include some story about, or some statement about Elon Musk. But according to this story, Chloe Fineman was made, when you read this, you're like, oh man, he must have done something pretty heinous to make her cry. Well, what happened was, according to Chloe Fineman, she stayed up all night writing a sketch for Elon Musk. And when he handed it to her, he didn't laugh. He said, "It's just not funny." She says here, "I was so excited. I stayed up all night writing the sketch. I was so excited," but she said, "Musk wasn't amused. You stared at me like you were firing me from Tesla." She said, doing an impression of the billionaire, saying, "It's not funny." Then you started pawing through my script, flipping each page, being like, "I didn't laugh," she said. Now, this is the story. This is it. This is what happened. Nothing else. He wasn't like a colossal dick or anything. He just didn't think her sketch was funny. Just like the line, "He looked at me like he was firing me from Tesla," wasn't funny either. I don't know what that means. But hilarious, I guess. Just in case this SNL actress is aware, or comedian, in case she's not aware, SNL is not funny anymore. It hasn't been for a while. Once they decided to be completely politically partisan, the whole thing just was dumb. And it seems like they don't really have any funny people on there. And Elon Musk hosting it back then, he clearly has a unique sense of humor. Remember, part of the reason why he bought X in the first place, or Twitter at the time, was because the Babylon Bee was suspended on there. And he claims that that's not the full reason why, but it is a big part of why he bought the platform. And so that's obviously, he's got a sense of humor. It's not like he doesn't have one, but if your sketch wasn't funny, then it wasn't funny. Now, this is a problem with people of, she's my age, so I can dog on my generation too. She's a year younger than I am. I looked this up earlier. There's a big problem with people of my age, especially, like the millennial generation. I'm going down to Gen Z. This constant need for affirmation, that somehow because she worked all night on a sketch and stayed up all night, she automatically deserved his praise and deserved his approval, and he should have just faked that it was funny because she stayed up all night working on it. Well, sorry, that's just not how the real world works. There's definitely something of this generation where they need constant affirmation on everything. I am I came of age, and I was in college when social media really became a thing. Facebook became a thing, and there's still a thing of people my age on Facebook. Some of the original users of Facebook, they have to use the platform to always seek validation for everything they do, or seek praise for everything they do. Now it's different between my generation and some younger generations. As younger generations tend to do more of like the fake online life thing, where I feel like the more like millennial generation tends to do, accomplish something or work hard on something and have to put it out there for the world to see, so they can get so much praise and so much affirmation. And it's kind of pathetic that you expected that he was just he made you cry because you worked hard on something that just he didn't think was funny. Well, you're in comedy, which is what allegedly SNL is. You should be aware that things flop sometimes in comedy. I know that you're in the corporate, media version of what comedy is, so I'm sure that you get all types of fake, altered, or this fake idea or false sense of accomplishment when it comes to how humorous the show is, because it's not. I don't know who watches SNL anymore. I used to watch it back in the day when it was kind of funny. I used to watch it back when Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers were on there, before they both decided to go off and be unfunny political commentators who just use every opportunity to slam conservatives, Republicans, and Trump supporters. That's all. It feels like that's all that crap is about now. So whatever idea you're getting that SNL is somehow still this great thing, I'm at one point in time, I'm sure many major comedians would have dreamed of being on Saturday Night Live, and look at the careers ever launched by that program. I mean, Mike Myers, Adam Sandler, David Spade, Chris Farley. I mean, you go down the list. Will Ferrell, Chris Rock. There's so many careers launched on there back when the show was funny. It's just not funny anymore. It's more woke. It's more just about jabbing their political opposition. It's about making their slick liberal burns. It's stupid. So this idea that he was just supposed to laugh because your thing wasn't funny and that made you cry, so this is a newsworthy story that should go around, just proves what a soft generation millennials can be. And I'm talking as one of them. Okay. Now listen, I've had a hard life to this point. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and sob and cry to you about it, but I've long since surpassed the idea that I need any affirmation for anything. In fact, most of the things I do in life, I don't tell anybody in my life I'm doing anymore. I like my writing and my videos and stuff. Like my family probably doesn't even know I do this. I'm not trying to get praise for it. I'm just saying, I think at some point it's like you kind of just have to accept that's how it is. And if you tell your family and stuff, you shouldn't just expect them to praise you up and down. Like, there have been plenty of things I've done. I have a PhD in history and a master's degree, and I've written plenty of papers and articles and stuff. And trust me, there's been times where I've been rejected, and I worked hours on something and sucked. When I wrote my dissertation, I got down to the very end of the process, and I was told I had to write a whole nother chapter. You want to know what being on the brink of tears feels like? I had a nervous breakdown. I mean, ask my wife. I was not happy about that. Because I wrote this 300 plus page book, and that's just the reality of life. And so just because you work hard on something doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean that people should just praise you for it. I just think this is a pathetic story, and I think it comes across as just kind of sad. It's a sad caricature of what that social media generation has become. They are, they grew up in the age of they need likes, they need comments, they need subscriptions and all this other stuff. It's just, maybe you're better off just trying to unplug from the mentality that you need constant confirmation or affirmation for everything, because it is liberating. That's how I feel about it. At one point I was like that too. I've had so many jobs, and a lot of times it's like, oh, your coworkers are getting praised or whatever, or classmates get praised for stuff they're writing or working on or doing, and like it would tear me up that I'm not getting the same amount of attention or whatever, or same amount of appreciation for what I'm doing. And then it's like, well, finally, once I unplug from that, it's a very liberating feeling. So if you're struggling with that, just ditch it. It's not worth it. It's not going to get you anywhere. And the problem with it is it's like a drug where you're just going to need to continue to seek that out. And it's pathetic. It'll pit you against people in your life. It will leave you despondent. It will cause you to suffer. It's not worth it at all. This story just confirms to me that this is just the age we live in, where because you worked for a long time on something, you should just automatically get the praise that you think you deserve. And he should have just laughed. Well, he's going to go on Saturday Night Live and have to do your sketch, and if it's not funny, he's going to look like an idiot. And I know you're excited because you thought you did a good job, but if it doesn't satiate his sense of humor, sorry, that's life. One would think getting to the point where you are, which was once the pinnacle of comedy, you would think that you would have a little bit tougher skin than that. But stupid story. Media just is obsessed. They're obsessed with Elon Musk. So, all right, well, that's that clip for now.